So one of the biggest challenges and questions I get asked whenever designing a video system is getting LPR, license plate recognition, getting that license plate. And Joel, I know Bosch now has got a solution. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Absolutely. It's a great question, and it's something we're working on, but we're doing things a little different. We're taking a standard mainstream camera like a Dinian 5100i bullet, and we're embedding a neural net LPR engine into the camera.
Okay.
So what we're looking at here is actually real time.
Right.
We have a PTZ deployed in an intersection, and we're feeding a stream which we're capturing with this camera, and that camera is extracting out license plate data as well as make and model data. So you're seeing here on the screen an under the covers look of how the neural net engine is actually interpreting what it sees as those vehicles come by. And it posts as we go that information. Now, the approach we'll take is we're going to stream the data you see here in the metadata stream.
Okay.
So we're going to pass all this rich information over on VIP into client applications from companies like Genetec, Milestone, our own BVMS, and the realization of what the sensor is doing is in that software. You need to have software to build the solution.
Yep.
The camera is our device.
Gotcha. And as you said, the 5100 series camera and the 7100 series camera
Correct.
both? Okay.
Yeah. So we have multiple options, and we're actually going to offer the solution as plate only, make and model only, or a combination. So you could theoretically get into an LPR deployed solution below $2,000 easily to deploy the camera with the appropriate licensing.
It is amazing to be able to hear that a mid-range camera, 5100, is able to do this, and needless to say, the 7100. But there are some trade-offs there. What is the limitation?
So it's important to understand that plate recognition is a mathematical interpretation of pixels on target.
Right.
So we'll use 4 megapixel camera, typically a telephoto if we're in a real world environment, because we can capture 2 lanes at a time. So if I'm in the environment installed on existing infrastructure, I want to have that optical view that can get me that 2-lane field of view. Now it's a high-speed and low-speed application. We've already tested it out, and we know over 70 miles an hour at night on the highway, it will capture plates just as well as it does slow speed and choke point.
Okay. Well, that's really interesting, and I know also you said that if you're running the LPR licensing, you can't run other analytics and at the same time, because again, the processor just can't handle it.
Exactly. I mean, we crossed this bridge 24 months ago, and I call it the horsepower bridge. We can pack power into the camera to run neural nets, but there's still limitations, and as we progress with more and more advanced processors, we'll add more horsepower, and then you can run concurrent neural nets. In this series of cameras, it will be one or the other. Further down the road on the roadmap, you're going to see more horsepower and more capability.
And I guess that's the one thing that customers, integrators, A&Es, they got to realize too. When you're looking at LPR, there's always you've got to have a limitation. It's either it's pixels on target. It's also you can't go from a severe angle. Typically, we always say 30-degree left or right, and you can't be up really high either because of that angle down. So you got to still live by those rules too, because if you can't see the license plate, neither can the camera.
Correct. I mean, it's all about what do I see, and it's a machine in the camera that's running. It can only do what it's been trained to do. But the beauty is, if you imagine a 2-lane view, now I've got great color imagery. You can even see through the windshields if you want to. But there's all kinds of possibilities, and you're not narrowed into a high-cost dedicated solution for a single purpose. You can I mean, you can run vehicle counts. You can do lots of things once you have data on every vehicle coming by.
It does take it to the next level of, we've talked about the camera's no longer just a camera, it's a sensor. And this is taking it to the nth degree now.
Yeah, for me, and I work in the traffic space, it's all about video as a sensor.
Yep.
Right? If all you're looking for is video streams, I can tell you on this show floor, there's a lot of people who can give that to you.
Sure.
What we specialize in is embedding the smarts and making that intelligence engine the differentiator between what we and others can do. But it's much more than that also, because a neural net is a neural net. Since we've been putting detection in cameras for many years, we understand more than just dropping a neural net on top of what we do.
Right.
We know all about the scene, all about the environment, and we now add a neural net into that big formula, which makes our products really stand out when they're in the real world being deployed.
We just touched the surface on a lot of this. So again, if you have questions, Joel is a wealth of knowledge. You can also go to the Bosch website, or you can also contact us at support@midchest.com, and we're always able to help.